Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. It's the NSCHSAA playoffs, the elimination round from Farmingdale State College. The St. Dominic Bayhawks take on the Kellenberg Firebirds. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Catholic Health, as well as Common Sense Baseball, Long Island Elite Baseball, and College Sports Advisors. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm John Perez. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Monday night. This will be a good one. Kellenberg and St. Dominic, the winner will move on in these NSCHAA playoffs. And let's meet the starting lineup for the Firebirds, as they are coming off a loss to Holy Trinity in the first round of this tournament. It'll be Kenny Noe along with Tommy Pasqua. Noe, the third baseman, Pasqua, the second baseman. Andrew Koshi, who we'll see a lot of tonight. He is the pitcher batting third for Kellenberg. Jimmy Ernst, the catcher, bats fourth. Paul Napolitano is the shortstop batting fifth. Michael D'Angelo, the center fielder, bats sixth, with Will Cohen in left field batting seventh. Owen McWalters, the designated hitter, bats eighth. And Brian Cadu rounds out the order. He will bat ninth. He's in right field as they go up against the St. Dom's hurler and Danny Onorato. Onorato on the year has been exceptional for St. Dom's. Of course, you think of the pitching staff for St. Dominic, and you think of Victor Frederick, who was exceptional yesterday, and now it's Arenado, the junior. Knocked Holy Trinity out of the playoffs last year, an ERA of 2.09. As the junior looks to extend the season for the Bayhawks.
Leading off for the Firebirds, the third baseman, number 5, Kenny Noe.
And Kenny Noe will lead things off for Kellenberg to begin the day, or evening now, here at Farmingdale State. This has been a fun one and a fun tournament. If you love offense today, then Game 1 was the game for you. 18-7, the win. Chaminade over Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity now takes on St. Anthony's as we start to go to the elimination brackets. Onorado's ready, and the first pitch to Noe, a swing and a miss, 0-1. Both teams' fan bases have been here for about an hour and a half, chomping at the bit. And Onorato misses just high, 1-1. Onorato throwing BBs right away. He's a fantastic number 2 starter for the Bayhawks as he misses low and away. And the count is 2-1 to Kenny Noe, one of the big boppers for this squad, coached by Pat Miles. And the count even at 2-2. Noe, only a junior, but committed to play for Monmouth. So he'll stay with the Aviary mascot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First batter of the evening. The pitch, that's high. And the count 3-2. Working quickly. Here's the 3-2. That's outside and goes all the way to the backstop. And Kenny Noe works the leadoff walk. Here in the elimination round between St. Dominic and Kellenberg. Let's meet the defense left to right in the outfield for St. Dom's. Is Dan Lambertson, Jordan Unoa, and Matt Cruz in right field. Cruz, the Penn State commit. First baseman is Vinny Diozzo, Cole Cruz at second base, Mikey Burns at shortstop, Lucian Sincere at third base, and Tom Garrett is the catcher with Honorado on the mound for the Bayhawks. Well, against a pitcher like Honorado, Kellenberg not afraid to play small ball, and that's exactly what St. Dominic is expecting as Sincere starts to pinch in. Sincere made a great play yesterday. Chaminade pulled back the bunt, did the old Butcher Boy play, hit a hot shot right to Sincere, who plucked it right off the ground and got the out. And what could have been crisis for St. Dom's kept Chaminade at bay, but it was the Flyers with a 1-0 victory. A combined no-hitter for Chaminade. It looked that way through the first 4 innings in their game against Holy Trinity earlier in the day. Hit on the ground to second. This could be 2. Burns goes to second for 1. The turn by Cruz. Not in time. 4-6 fielder's choice erases Kenny Noe as Tommy Pasqua reaches base, and we'll take another look. Good speed going up the line by Pasqua. Cruz has an arm at second, but not enough to get Pasqua, as this brings up Andrew Koshy, one of the top talents on Long Island. Low throw and close throw, but Pasqua gets ahead. Gets in ahead of the throw. As Koshy headed to Wake Forest, the #1 team in the nation. Hits it on the ground to second. This could be 2. Burns completes it. 6-4-3 double play. Gets Honorado out of the first unscathed as Cole Cruz makes it look so easy. Cruz to Burns, Diozzo, and the Bayhawks coming to bat up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Andrew Koshy grounded into the inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Future Demon Deacon taking his talents to the ACC. Was hit around against Holy Trinity and now a shot at redemption to try and keep his team alive. As he goes to the bottom of the first inning, we're scoreless. Kellenberg and St. Dom as he'll face this lineup for the Bayhawks. Jordan Unoa is the center fielder. He leads it off. Mikey Burns in the 2-hole bats second and is the shortstop. Matt Cruz, the right fielder, bats third. Vinny Diozzo in the cleanup spot is the first baseman, with Victor Frederick, the designated hitter and starter yesterday, batting fifth. Cole Cruz at second base bats sixth. Danny Lambertson in left field batting seventh. Tom Garrett behind the plate, he bats eighth. And Lucian Sincere in the 9-hole. And St. Dom's wearing their home whites today. And a little ode to, I guess, maybe the early 2000s Milwaukee Brewers. We've seen some of the apparel that they've had. Of course, the St. Dom's, they use the SD San Diego Padres uniform, but the script really screams of Milwaukee in the early 2000s, as Kellenberg is set to go and the Firebirds Talk about old Milwaukee Brewers. They've got the old blue and yellow as well. So for the 1 or 2 Brewer fans out there, thanks for watching. And maybe this is a throwback to the old days. I don't think you're going to get Harvey wallbangers here today, but either way, should be a fun one. As Jordan it takes outside for ball 1. Yesterday 0 for 3. Everybody had an 0 for in the combined no-hitter for Chaminade. A couple of flyouts to center field and a ground out to first. Two-0 pitch and 3 straight out of the zone for Koshi, which at times could be an issue for him, but his head coach Pat Miles said that he remembers the first time that he saw Koshi as he goes 4 straight out of the zone, and both pitchers issuing walks to the first batters that they see, and this brings up Mikey Burns. And that Koshi was always bigger and stronger than everyone else, and at the high school level, that's enough to produce at a high level because you can just blow away 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. But he's really become a pitcher and has done a good job hitting his spots. And he gets his first strike of the evening, a foul ball off to the right side by Burns. First year for Koshi was the COVID shutdown, so hit and run, hit on the ground to the right side. The only play for Coates is to first, as that moves Yanoa up to second on the 3 unassisted. So let's meet the defense quickly for Kellenberg. Left to right in the outfield, Will Cohen, Michael D'Angelo, and Braden Cadu. In right field, James Coates at first base, Tommy Pasqua, the second baseman, Paul Napolitano at shortstop, Kenny Noe at third base with Jimmy Ernst behind the plate, and Koshi on the mound. As it's Wake Forest against Penn State, Matt Cruz, the stud, his head coach says. Now even at the count at 1-1. Cruz kept in check yesterday. He drew a walk and then flew out to Evan Boschnagel in right field. Hitless in 2 at-bats and takes low, and the count is 2-1. As St. Dominic threatening early, still looking for their first hit here at Farmingdale State. Dotted on the outside corner, and the count is 2-2. Genoa with good speed off of second. Looks to take that secondary lead. 2-2 pitch, slides outside. And a full count to the number 3 hitter in Cruz. Payoff pitch. Foul tipped off the glove of Ernst, and we'll do it again. Well, Joe Fusco in his second year, of course, coaches travel ball, as do so many of these other coaches. Remember seeing Cruz at a travel tournament in Atlantic City just a few years ago. 3-2 pitch, sprayed foul off to the right side, and we'll do it again. And that Cruz had some friends that had played on Fusco's travel team and didn't do any poaching or anything, but was really impressed in what he saw in Atlantic City. A few years later, his friends kind of recruited Cruz to the team, and he's been playing with him ever since, as Koshi blows a fastball by him for his first strikeout of the evening, and there's 2 down in the first. Here's Vinny Diozzo, the first baseman. Runner in scoring position, and a breaking ball stays up and in, 1-0. Diozzo, 3 ground outs to the third baseman yesterday in Mike Cervoni, and he goes that way again, but yanks it foul off to the left side. count 1-1. Center fielder Mike D'Angelo shading Diozo to go the other way. 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground to short. Napolitano charges, whips it over to first, and the inning is over. Andrew Koshy works around the leadoff walk to keep the Bayhawks off the board. 1 inning complete. Kellenberg and St. Dominic's in the NSCHSAA baseball playoffs on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Danny Honorado gave up a leadoff walk and then got a couple of ground balls, including a 6-4-3 double play to get out of the first inning, as he will deal to the heart of the order for Kellenberg. 4-5-6, it's Jimmy Ernst, Paul Napolitano, and Mike D'Angelo. As Honorado looks to keep his team alive and move further along in this tournament, hoping to eventually play Chaminade in the final.
Leading off for the Firebirds, the catcher, number 3, Jimmy Ernst.
So here's Jimmy Ernst to lead it off, the backstop for Kellenberg. And takes a fastball high and away for ball 1. Honorado, somebody who works pretty quickly, and this is splash foul off to the right side, and the count 1-1. To Ernst, 19 games in the regular season, hit .333 with 3 home runs and 14 runs driven in. Gotta love the production out of your catcher. Jam sandwich over to the left side. Ranging to his left is Sincere. Fires to first. And Ernst is retired for the first out.
Now batting for the Firebirds is shortstop number 2, Paul Napolitano.
As this will bring up Paul Napolitano, the leading hitter for Kellenberg. Napolitano leading the way with a .344 batting average, a home run and 17 RBIs. And ahead in the count 1-0. In fact, Kellenberg as a team through 17 games this year hit 10 home runs as a bunch. As Kenny Noe led the way. Another opportunity on the left side. It's Mikey Burns. 2 up, 2 down to begin the second. Sincere looked like he was going to cut across, and his shortstop Burns called him off for 2 quicks out. And of course, it was Koshy and Napolitano leading the way for the Firebirds with those 3 home runs. As Mike D'Angelo steps up to the plate. And how about this? Another hopper to the left side, but it skips off the glove of Sincere. And the E5 puts D'Angelo on board. Sincere so good with his glove hand. It just hopped off to the left side and the top side of his glove. As this brings up Will Cowan. Cowan, the left fielder for the Firebirds, takes the first pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Cowan only 12 games in the regular season, a 179 batting average. Looking for his first RBI of the season, and ahead in the count, 2-0. Little chilly here at Farmingdale State College. Beautiful day of baseball yesterday, and had a good start to the first game, but the game dragged on so long it took the weather with it. And the count now 2-1. Check of the runner from Honorado and delivers it low, and it's 3-1. D'Angelo with good speed off of first, but the big reason why the entire league doesn't run against Tom Garrett, the catcher, is he's thrown out 50% of base runners this year. For context, throwing out 25% of base runners is good. That just shows the arm that Garrett has behind the plate. 3-1 coming. Fastball hit on the ground to second. Cole Cruz is up with it, goes the short way, and gets D'Angelo, the lead runner, to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. An inning and a half in the books. Kellenberg and St. Dominic scoreless on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Be a part of the premier travel baseball program in Nassau County by joining Long Island Elite Travel Teams. Elite Baseball offers a reliable organizational structure with tiers of teams between 11 and 17 years old. Elite Baseball provides experienced and knowledgeable coaches that help players grow in a competitive, fair, and respectful environment. To sign up, text the number below at 516-900-2479 or email longislandelitebaseball@gmail.com.
And you're always working to get them to that level.
They're genuine. They really want what's best for your kid. And it's about giving your kid an advantage and access to as many resources as possible. And I feel like with CSA, they have the platform, they have the relationships. Again, it's all about having your kid's best interest in mind, and it's certain that's what they have here.
As the night rolls on, some Chick-fil-A and some frigid fans here. Seems like we've been here all day, and no food coming this way, although we've been assured by our executive producer, Ben Turchin, that the 6-foot sub is coming. At some point, check swing to the first batter is it's picked up by Koshi, fires to first to retire Victor Frederick. Koshi so good getting off the mound. And fired a strike over to first, as that brings up Cole Cruz. First pitch hit on the ground to third, and it just goes foul as Noe picks it up on the left side of the bag. A one pitch in the dirt. And the count 1-1. Koshi's someone who works quickly, and when he's working quickly, he's working effectively. Seen mostly fastballs out of him. And there's another fastball hit right back up the middle. Napolitano. And an infield single as Coates can't handle it. And Kellenberg giving up their first hit of the day. Cole Cruz with a one-out infield single, and that brings up Dan Lambertson.
To left fielder, number 13, Daniel Lambertson.
First pitch fouled off to the right side, and it's 0-1. Dan Lambertson getting the start in left field, as I had the chance to text briefly with Joe Fusco before the game and said, yeah, we're going to need to shuffle some things along, considering the offensive performance that they had yesterday. A one pitch skips inside, and the count 1-1. Lambertson a strikeout and a ground out in 2 at-bats yesterday against John Carroll. 1-1 right down the middle for a strike. It's 1-2. In fact, St. Dominic was retired for the last 13 batters of the game. As time was called on the mound, Makoshi's ready to go. 1-2 on the outside corner, strike 3 called. That fastball is so filthy on the outer half as Koshi picks up his second strikeout of the evening. And that brings up Tom Garrett. Koshi ready to go. The umpires are not. And in his own world, ever since he's taken the mound at Kellenberg. First pitch fastball floats outside. It's 1-0. Garrett yesterday a couple of ground outs against John Carroll. But Cruz with some good speed off of first. He's going. Hit and run is on. Throw down to second. What a BB. Jimmy Ernst throws out Cole Cruz to get through 2. What a dart as they get Cruz on the caught stealing to end the second inning. We're scoreless. Kellenberg and St. Dominic. You're watching the NSC HSAA Baseball Playoffs on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Looking for an elite travel team right here in Nassau County? Then look no further than Long Island Elite. Perks include field access for practice, local and regional events including PBR and Perfect Game, facility use, winter workouts, all under one roof at Common Sense Baseball. Sign up today by texting 516-900-2479 or email longislandelitebaseball@gmail.com. Common Sense Baseball is the premier baseball facility on Long Island. Located in Westbury, CSB offers private or group training lessons on top of cage rentals for your team, baseball or softball, as well as summer camps and college recruitment videos. Visit them today at 75D Rushmore Street in Westbury or online at Common Sense Baseball on Instagram or on commonsensebaseball.com. Dan Honorado back out on the mound for his third inning of work. Only been one combined hit. It was an infield single by Cole Cruz, as Honorado has faced one over the minimum through the first 2 innings. It'll be Owen McWalters, Brian Cadu, and Kenny Noe against the hurler Danny Honorato, who has been on a roll so far.
Leading off the top of the third for the Firebirds, the designated hitter, number 7, Owen McWalters.
So here's McWalters. Technically has the highest batting average, but had been battling injuries, so is hitting .389 in only 9 games played. And it takes a fastball high for ball 1. Walters, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Doesn't strike out a ton. Lying tight on a fastball, and it's 2-0. And starting to blow out towards center. Out of the windup, here's the 2-0, right down the middle for a strike, 2-1. With those eyes gleaming just over the glove. Good rip at a fastball by McWalters. Count 2-2. Two coming. On the inside corner, strike 3 called. Nasty two-seamer on the inner edge as Honorado picks up his first strikeout of the evening. And that brings up Brian Cadu. Cadu, the right fielder and number 9 hitter, takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Cadu hitting .246 on the year. No home runs, 5 RBIs. He's got 2 extra base hits. Looking to spark a rally for Kellenberg. Against a St. Dom's team that was no hit yesterday, struggling to put base runners on against Andrew Koshi. 1 or 2 runs might be enough to decide this contest. That's upstairs, it's 3-0. Infield, outfield, straight up. Here's a 3-0. That's upstairs, ball 4. Second walk issued by Honorado.
Now batting for the Firebirds, so third baseman number 5.
And the third base runner for the Firebirds. As Kenny Noe will lead things off, or the leadoff hitter will step up to the plate. And a curveball sweeps in for a strike, 0-1. No, he walked and then was erased on the fielder's choice in the first inning. A Monmouth commit. As Cadu slides back safely. Tagged foul, wide of first. And the count 0-2. Couple of shakeoffs by Honorado. And now a throw over. They might have gotten him, but no. I'd love to see that again. That was a close play over at first. As Cadu just getting in ahead of the tag. Too close to call. Certainly a good move. Almost had him. As that pitch misses, and it's 1-2. 1-2 in the dirt, stopped by Garrett. Runner goes. Here's a throw down to second. Not in time. Just ahead of the tag. As Cadu takes second. Kellenberg doing a good job reading it in the dirt. So close, and Cadu slides in ahead of the tag. Wow, you really have to earn it against Garrett behind the plate. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Blew a fastball by Noe. And there's 2 gone in the third.
Now batting for the Firebirds, the second baseman number 4, Thomas Pasqua.
So this brings up Tommy Pasqua. Grounded out into a fielder's choice his last time up. The runner at second is Cadu. And Pasqua ahead in the count, 1-0. Big hole on the right side for Pasqua. Someone who's been able to hit all fields this year. Honorado checking the runner, now comes home with it. And delivers a fastball low and away, 2-0. One thing of note, Jordan Yanoa, the center fielder, Joe Fusco says is Jim Edmonds-esque, who likes to play in and can go back on a ball. He's so graceful out in center field. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's low and away again, 3-0. Andrew Koshy would be next, as Honorado wants to end it here and keep Kellenberg off the board. Pickoff throw over to second, and Cadu gets back ahead of the tag. From the belt, Honorado, and the pitch. Fastball right down Broadway for a strike. It's 3-1. Pasqua again, throw over to second, and I don't think Cruz expected that to come his way. Good job of getting back in time. 3-1 pitch. Little chopper, left side of the mound, backhanded by Honorado. Fires to first in time. Honorado throws out Pasqua and keeps Cadu at bay at second base. 2.5 in the books. We're scoreless. Kellenberg and St. Dominic, the NSCHSAA playoffs on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Show up at the games, make sure we're present, work with great players and great families. That's the most important piece of this whole operation. And then, be good evaluators, tell families the truth, and then find them a fit at the college level and make sure that we're always open and available for communication. And at the end of the day, we want to simplify and maximize the recruiting process for each of our players.
Common Sense Baseball is the place to take your game to the next level. With a 10,000 square foot facility fully equipped with 3 high-speed hack attack machines and Rapsodo technology, Common Sense Baseball will help sharpen your 5 tools. Send them a DM on Instagram or contact them online at commonsensebaseball.com to start your private or team training session today. Andrew Koshy, the side-winding righty, future Wake Forest Demon Deacon, trying to keep his team alive in the 2023 NSCHSAA baseball playoffs. He'll deal to the bottom of the order. Tom Garrett, Lucian Sincere, and Jordan Yanoa, 8-9-1, due up in the order for St. Dominic, who picked up their first hit, an infield single by Cole Cruz. As Garrett, the catcher, showing off his arm last inning, leads things off against Koshy. Koshy, a grip of the baseball as the temperature starts to dip. And now is ready to go. And the first pitch, cut on and missed for strike 1. Garrett ground out to third and shortstop yesterday. Floats it foul off to the left side, 0-2. Barrett, one of those throwback left-handed hitting catchers. Kind of odd to see left-handed hitters and, of course, right-handed throwers, as Koshi, once again, pitching like there is a pitch clock. And I'll tell you what, I'm not complaining. There's the 0-2, high and away. Count 1-2. It's interesting to see the development of the pitch clock in the college game. And if it trickles its way down to the high school level. Still years away on that. And as the 2-2 floats outside, it's 2-2. Of course, there are 40 some odd states that don't even have a shot clock in basketball, let alone imagine having a pitch clock in baseball. But one can dream. 2-2 on the inside corner. Got him with a fastball. Andrew Koshi wheeling and dealing. Second straight strikeout looking, as that brings up Lucian Sincere. And time once again called at home plate. That's the fourth time that Koshi has been told to slow down, as it's bunted on the hands of Sincere, and the count 0-1. Pitch. And that's upstairs, 1-1. Infield, outfield straight away. We're scoreless. Bottom of the third, as Koshi's fastball lasers outside. And the count 2-1. Pitching on the first base side of the rubber. He evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Fusco and the rest of the dugout yelling at the home plate umpire, saying that, hey, my guy's calling timeout. You have to award it to him every now and then. 2-2 upstairs. And it's 3-2. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. And now a warning towards the dugout. And that's Fusco being told off by the umpire. He's heard enough. And St. Dominic has a gripe. Koshi is sprinting if this was a marathon. And it seems whenever the batter has 1 foot in the box, he's ready to go. Here's the 1-0. Cut on and missed. And the count 1-1. St. Dominic doing the most that they can, stepping out of the box after every pitch, as this is driven foul behind the plate. And the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Koshi looks to strike out the side, and he does so. Andrew Koshi blows the fastball by Jordan Yanoa. And 3 in the books. We're scoreless. Kellenberg and St. Dominic. Koshi is rolling on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
For me, it starts before they ever sign up with us. Player evaluation is at the heart of everything that we do. So we're going to evaluate players. We're going to make sure, number 1, that they're a fit for CSA. Number 2, that we have a philosophical agreement as far as how we see the recruiting process playing out. We have guys who have aspirations of playing at the Division I level, but we're going to make sure that we're really realistic and that we understand Division II and Division III are tremendous programs, and we're all on the same page about where we think that player fits at the college level. You know, from there, obviously they come on board and we really individualize it. You know, at the end of the day, everybody's timing is going to be different, certainly based on the type of schools that are going to recruit them, but also, you know, given their grad year and the skill set. So we're going to make sure that we have a really good plan in place.
Andrew Koshy starting to settle in on the mound, and will lead it off for Kellenberg against Danny Honorado, who has matched the future Demon Deacon stride for stride. Koshy struck out the side in the last inning, and now an opportunity to help his cause, as it'll be Koshy, Ernst, and Napolitano against Danny Honorado. Second time through the lineup for the Bayhawks hurler. We're scoreless, only one combined hits, an infield single by Cole Cruz. As Honorado ahead in the count, 0-1. Honorado with the throwback over the head, kind of like Tom Seaver delivery, although his knee doesn't get down to the ground nearly as close as Tom Terrific's did, but love the over the shoulder, and makes quick work of Koshy to pick up his third strikeout of the evening, and one away in the fourth.
Now batted for Firebirds, the catcher number 3, Jimmy Ernst.
So this brings up Jimmy Ernst, the catcher. Grounded out to third his first time up. Honorado the pitch. That's hit in the air. Deep left field. Chasing back Lambertson. Track. Wall. It's gone! It's a solo home run by Jimmy Ernst. His fourth home run of the year, and the Firebirds break through and take a 1-0 lead in the fourth. Do these guys want it or what? That ball tattooed to deep left field. And just between the 11, 12, and 13 Skyline Conference champion banner out in left. And with the way that Koshy's going, that might be the one run that stands tall for Kellenberg. Here's Paul Napolitano. As Honorado fires a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Honorado peering in at the signs and just wants to get back to work. He and Koshy similar in so many ways. He's got that death stare and just so intimidating to go up against. When you think of the glove and the eyes, of course, recently Jacob deGrom, Andy Pettit comes to mind. 1-1 fisted foul off to the right side, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch. In the air, shallow right. Cruz going out. Matt Cruz coming in, and Matt Cruz calls off Cole Cruz. 2 down.
Now batted for the Firebirds, the center fielder number 18, Michael D'Angelo.
And here's Mike D'Angelo. Reached on an error by the third baseman, Lucian Sincere, his last time up. And takes a fastball low for ball 1. Working quickly, Honorado. That's tagged into left field for a base hit over the glove of the jumping Sincere. Second hit of the inning for the Firebirds as that keeps things going for Will Cohen.
Now batting for the Firebirds, the left fielder number 23, William Cohen.
Fielder's choices last time up. As D'Angelo with a bigger lead off of first. And Honorado has to deal from the set. He's going. Breaking ball outside for a ball. Throw down to second. Not nearly in time. First stolen base for Mike D'Angelo in this contest. And now another runner in scoring position for Kellenberg. As Cowan calls timeout and steps out of the box. Nice set, check of the runner. Here's the 1-0. And that pitch misses low. Count 2-0. Short lead off of second by D'Angelo. Throw down to second, not in time. As Honorado trying to limit the damage here. Pitch upstairs for ball 3. Owen McWalters would be next. He's followed by Brian Cadu. A strikeout and a walk between the two of them. Kellenberg already with a run home. A solo home run by Jimmy Ernst. 3-0 coming. Upstairs, ball 4 and 4 straight out of the zone by Honorado. And his third walk of the evening, as this brings up the DH McWalters. Wind blowing out towards left as McWalters calls time. And the first pitch, a little tapper foul towards the Firebirds dugout, 0-1. McWalters, like we mentioned, had some nagging injuries in the beginning of the year, but still putting together a .389 batting average. Good production out of the 8-hole. Cut on and missed at a high fastball. And Honorado ahead in the count, 0-2. D'Angelo the runner at second, Cowan the runner at first. 1-0 Kellenberg, top of the 4th inning. Firebirds looking for more as they try to stave off elimination. Starting to get to the midway point in this game. The pitch. Lined into center field, down for a base hit. They're going to send home D'Angelo. Here comes the throw, off the line. Throw squibs away. Picked up by Garrett. It's an RBI single for Owen McWalters, and Kellenberg leads it 2-0 in the 4th.
Now batting for the Firebirds for right fielder number 20, Brian Cadu.
Good piece of hitting, and you know his throw drifted up the first base line. But Cowan was celebrating at at second base, as was McWalters, and they didn't take the extra base. As this brings up Brian Cadu. Cadu will walk in his first plate appearance, was stranded at second. Here's the 0-1. Hit on the ground towards second base. Cole Cruz underhands it over to the covering Mikey Burns, and the inning is over. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're watching Kellenberg and St. Dominic NSC HSAA baseball playoffs on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
For me, it starts before they ever sign up with us. player evaluation is at the heart of everything that we do. So we're going to evaluate players. We're going to make sure, number one, that they're a fit for CSA. Number two, that we have a philosophical agreement as far as how we see the recruiting process playing out. We have guys who have aspirations of playing at the Division I level, but we're going to make sure that we're really realistic and that we understand Division II and Division III are tremendous programs, and we're all on the same page about where we think that player fits at the college level. From there, obviously they come on board and we really individualize it. At the end of the day, everybody's timing is going to be different, certainly based on the type of schools that are going to recruit them, but also, given their grad year and the skill set. So we're going to make sure that we have a really good plan in place.
Back here in the bottom of inning number 4. It's Kellenberg with a 2-0 lead over St. Dominic as Mr. Koshy back out on the mound for Kellenberg. We are pleased to be joined by the chairperson of baseball for the NSCHSAA, Chris Hardart. Chris, what a fantastic game this has been, a good pitcher's duel. I know, obviously, a baseball coach and yourself, you have to love when these two pitchers are dialed in.
Yeah, this is a great example of what our league is all about. When you see a pitcher's duel like this. Yesterday's games were unbelievable. We had 2-1 nothing games, as you know.
Right back up the middle. Tough play for Napolitano. That'll be an infield single as Mikey Burns reaches base. Well, and how about the job of Holy Trinity as well, Sebastian Velasquez. Now, selfishly up here, I want to see these guys complete the games, but that's just me. These pitchers and these coaches, of course, have to coach for the playoffs. But what do you think about Mr. Velasquez?
Yeah, Sebastian did a great job yesterday, and Tyler Cook came in and finished it off. And, he's had a great season for us.
As that pitch is upstairs to Matt Cruz, a strikeout in his only at bat so far against Koshy. And I know it's a tough loss for Holy Trinity, but had the positive innings against Chaminade, and that 6-run spurt, another run spurt, and Dan Luisi, if there's anything about Dan and Holy Trinity, that they'll be back as they move on, and there's a swing and a miss. But
well, there's nothing more true than it's only a loss, right? It doesn't matter if it was 1-0 or if it was 18-7. It's a loss, right? So it really doesn't matter going into our next game against whoever's going to be left here. But it really, we got the job done the first 2 games, stayed in the winners bracket as long as we could, and that's what you try to do in tournaments like this.
So with that said, and for somebody who is just watching for the first time and getting a look at the bracket, it's a double elimination tournament. It's not a traditional 2 out of 3 or even pool play or anything like that. And with that said, this league was just so close this year that Holy Trinity, who finished up at 5, was only a game and a half out of first place, which just goes to show the parity here. And, what are your thoughts on the bracket so far and how it's playing out? And ultimately, it feels like any team of those 5 could win it all.
Right. It's funny. A lot of our alum came back, the last couple of days, and their first question to us is, hey, what seed were we? Where did we finish? And I'm like, well, we came in 5th, and they kind of look at you like, oh wow, we didn't have a great year. And I'm like, well, we're 16-6 and we were 11-6 in the league. And they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, well, that's the way the league was. From 1 to 5, like you said, 1 to 5, anybody could beat anybody, and you can see it here tonight. It's the same thing. We had 2-1 nothing games yesterday. We have a battle going on right here, and that's the way it was. The top 5 teams in the league were all the same.
Vinny Diozzo at the plate with a runner on first and 1 out. And, it's funny, you mentioned the alum. I know there was the CHSAA Hall of Fame the other day, Coach Hondo going in. How special is that for an athletic department as Diozzo will reach base and St. Dom's will have runners on first and second and 1 out?
Well, that's such a great event. The Hall of Fame in the CHSAA is a pretty special thing to be included in, And, for anybody from our school to be inducted, it is a big deal. And, we were joking with him because you see names that are in that Hall of Fame like, Joe Torre and Lou Alcindor and Vince Lombardi. And, it's unbelievable,
Now Koshy, losing control, uncharacteristic, and maybe just sped himself up. But either way, Diozzo reaches second base. Frederick on now at first, and the base is loaded. And that'll bring up Cole Cruz. And now going out to the mound and trying to calm down his pitcher. And you've coached for so many years as well. And what do you tell Koshi, who, quite honestly, could tell the rest of the coaches a thing or two in this league?
Well, listen, I think he'll regroup here. He's been like this for 4 years that I've seen him pitch here, and he's just one of the top guys not only in the league but probably the entire New York State. So I'm pretty confident he's going to be able to find it here.
And just the crop of talent too that's been coming out of Long Island over the last few years. Obviously, everyone always points to Marcus Stroman and Steven Matz, but you look at Akoshi, you look at DeCaro, J.J. Gotti last year as well, and I mean that entire Chaminade team. They were joking, the other coaches, that it was like the 27 Yankees with all their scholarships that they were giving out to college last year.
Hey, listen, we have 9 seniors, and we have 9 seniors at Holy Trinity that are baseball players, and during our college commitment ceremony we had the other day, we had 8 of our players going on to play in college. So that's what this league is all about. I mean, there's college players all over the field right now. And the pitching staffs, the number ones and all, Sebastian, even our guys going to Rhode Island, Koshi going to Wake Forest.
And there's a wave and a miss. And, it's funny with Koshi, too, and DeCaro, some MLB scouts were obviously out as well. So, yes, they do commit, but I think what a lot of people don't realize, or if they're new to the baseball world, if a team comes in and offers up the right price, you can forego college, and certainly a great option. Koshi dealing now, picks up his 7th strikeout. That one looking. Paints on the outside edge, and there's 2 away.
There you go. He calmed down, right?
Yeah. And then this will bring up Lambertson. And I think the one thing, too, with Koshi, he'll be ready to go at any level, especially if a pitch clock is coming to college. He's been on another level, dialing all afternoon and all evening.
Somebody asked me about that today. Are we going to do the same thing in this league as they did in MLB, about the pitch clock? And I'm like, well, it's a little difficult to get that all in place,
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, too, because we were just talking about it a few innings ago. Some states don't even have a shot clock for basketball. So how are you going to get it on, for a lot of these teams playing in public parks? I know your league, a lot of teams have campuses, so they can, that's not so much of an issue. But either way, it's definitely tough going. Maybe it's a good problem to have 10 or 15 years down the road, but it hasn't even hit college yet. So that's one interesting thing to keep an eye on, as Jason Romance, the pinch hitter, steps up with the bases loaded and 2 down.
This is a big spot in the game right here.
Yeah. And coming in cold off the bench, too, and not an easy assignment for Romance, but, Romance is one of those guys they call on the bench mob for St. Dom's. He's done a good job this year, but how about Koshi back-to-back strikes? Base is full of Bayhawks, and time is called by the field umpire, and wisely called is Koshi ready to go. The 0-2. Just missed outside. Thought that he had it. Well, before we let you go, Chris, I have to commend you on your public address announcer tonight. He's been on top of everything. He had this saint-like presence about him. As this is hit on the ground to second, Pasqua's up with it, and the inning is over.
Hey, we're super proud of Pat McCormick.
Any chance that we see him in the CHSAA Hall of Fame down the road?
He's got I can see that maybe. I can see that. Might be the first PA guy ever.
Like we said, he was a walk-on player on Holy Trinity's football team, and he was asked to walk off. 4 innings in the books, 2-0 Kellenberg on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Common Sense Baseball is the premier baseball facility on Long Island. Located in Westbury, CSB offers private or group training lessons on top of cage rentals for your team, baseball or softball, as well as summer camps and college recruitment videos. Visit them today at 75D Rushmore Street in Westbury or online at Common Sense Baseball on Instagram or on commonsensebaseball.com. Be a part of the premier travel baseball program in Nassau County by joining Long Island Elite Travel Teams. Elite Baseball offers a reliable organizational structure with tiers of teams between 11 and 17 years old. Elite Baseball provides experienced and knowledgeable coaches that help players grow in a competitive, fair, and respectful environment. To sign up, text the number below at 516-900-2479 or email longislandelitebaseball@gmail.com. Back here in the top of the fifth inning, Kellenberg with a 2-0 lead over St. Dominic. And of course, today's game is sponsored by College Sports Advisor. CSA is a full-time baseball advisory service focusing on the specific needs of players to ensure them the best college baseball opportunity. From the initial assessment of your skills to curating your target college list. We work with you every step of the way with a strong track record. Their service is an all-encompassing and most importantly, very good at devising a unique strategy to help you land a spot on the team. 1 pitch, 1 out, as that was an easy play for Lucian Sincere to retire Kenny Noe. As this brings up Tommy Pasqua. Fielder's choice and a ground out in 2 at-bats against Danny Honorado, who has been throwing darts so far. Was hit around last inning, gave up a solo home run to Jimmy Ernst, and then an RBI single to Owen McWalters. As Kellenberg was able to throw the first punch against St. Dominic in a 2-0 lead. And a fastball at the knees for a strike, 1-1. And now Garrett will go out and get on the same page with Honorado. Honorado trying to keep this a 2-0 game and give St. Dominic a chance against Andrew Koshy, who looms on deck for the Firebirds. Here's a 1-1. Sprayed into right field, giving chase Matt Cruz, and it just goes foul. Wide of the line. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Base is empty. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Went up the elevator shaft to pick up his 5th strikeout of the evening, and there's 2 away in the 5th for Mr. Andrew Koshy. This pitching matchup has lived up to the billing. And Koshy trying to help his cause as St. Dominic's defense shifts all the way to the left, expecting Koshy to pull. And a fastball dots the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Which is interesting because Koshy grounded into the 6-4-3 double play, exactly where Cole Cruz, the second baseman, is standing. And those are the analytics. And a wave and a miss at a fastball. And the count 0-2. Pitching from the first base side of the rubber. Honorado trying to get out of it. And a setup pitch misses outside, 1-2. Bottom of the order due up for the Bayhawks next inning. 0-2 coming. Curveball dips a little low. And the count 2-2. Saw this defensive alignment yesterday out of St. Dom's. Here's a 2-2. That dips outside. And the count is full. A few times, specifically to Evan Boschnagel. The difference being, though, that with 2 strikes, they would move Cruz back to his normal position at second base. Comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 6 strikeouts through 5 innings for Danny Honorado. Trying to keep the Bayhawks at stride. A 2-0 lead for Kellenberg as we go to the middle of the 5th inning on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Bottom 5, St. Dominic trying to keep themselves in this tournament, trailing 2-0 against one of the best arms in the Catholic League, in Andrew Koshy. Struck out 7 batters through his first 5 innings of work, and has just allowed the 2 hits to St. Dominic's. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for St. Dom's. Tom Garrett, Lucian Sincere, and Jordan Yanoa. 8-9-1 due up for St. Dominic. As Koshy has been working at a sprinter's pace. And it's kind of like that old Bugs Bunny baseball montage where you get the hitters up at the plate and they just keep swinging and moving around the base paths. Well, think of the pitching equivalent. That's what Koshy has been so far on the mound. And the first pitch fouled back to the screen by Garrett, 0-1. Garrett a strikeout and is only at bat 0 for 1. There's Koshy, deep breath and fires. Fastball misses outside, 1-1. Third baseman Noe playing even with the bag. As Koshy pours in another strike, a breaking ball that bends in there, and he's ready to go once again. Here comes the 1-2, and timeout is called at the plate. That's the 6th time today that a pitch was halted against Koshy. Not halted here in the 1-2. Flicks outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Sprayed foul off to the left side and out of play.
Fans, just a reminder, if you retrieve a foul ball, please bring it to the dugout.
2-2 pitch. Curveball on the inside corner. Strike 3 called, and Garrett didn't like it. As Ernst had to move.
Now batting the third baseman, number 4, Lucian Sincere.
But either way, 8 strikeouts now for Koshy, as this brings up Lucian Sincere. Sincere also struck out looking in the third inning, as Koshy struck out the side. A fastball at the belt. 0-1. And that dips outside again. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Kellenberg Firebirds, the runner-up in this tournament a year ago, taking Chaminade to 3 games. And Koshy behind in the count, 2-1. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Getting the chance to see the breaking ball right behind the plate has been a pleasure so far. Just sweeps out of the zone. Poked foul off to the right side, as Sincere able to keep himself in the at-bat. It's a tough fastball to catch up to after seeing the curveball. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Jammed into the ground and fouled off the foot of Sincere. Koshy a shake-off, now gets what he wants. 3-2 pitch, in there, strike 3 called. 9 strikeouts for Andrew Koshy, 2 gone in the 5th.
Now that is the Bayhawks, the
As this brings up Jordan Yanoa. Struck out swinging his last time up. 6 of the 9 strikeouts have been looking. Nice job by Koshi. 1-0, slapped foul down the left field line. And the count even at a ball and a strike. Koshi's ready to go. And now a strike away from striking out the side for the second time in 5 innings. Rears back and fires. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 10 strikeouts for Andrew Koshi, who's delivering a masterpiece in the NSCHSAA baseball playoffs.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Top of the 6th inning, a 2-0 lead for Kellenberg as Danny Honorado back out on the mound for the Bayhawks. As he'll deal to the heart of the order for Kellenberg, who was able to scratch some runs against him last time, and scratch might be an understatement, as Jimmy Ernst pulverized the pitch to left center field for the solo home run. They added another run on the RBI single by Owen McWalters. As Kellenberg, behind the arm of Andrew Koshi, looks to give him more insurance and move on in the NSCHSAA playoffs. Ernst, besides that home run, grounded out, 1 for 2 on the day. Infield, outfield straight up as he watches the fastball miss outside for ball 1. Ernst has done a good job controlling the pitching staff this year, and a great job at the plate as well. Only a junior with tremendous upside for this Firebird squad. Out of the windup, here's the 1-1. Fastball just misses outside. Count 2-1. Couple of shake-offs. Here's a 2-1. Fastball high and away. And Honorado behind in the count, 3-1. Honorado with 3 walks today, trying to get the leadoff man out for the Firebirds. 3-1 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. So Kellenberg has the leadoff man on, and that brings up Paul Napolitano.
Now batting for the Firebirds is shortstop number 2, Paul Napolitano.
And with that, we might have a pitching change, as St. Dom's has some action in the bullpen. That's Luke Lang. As Luke Lang appears to be ready to go. And now Fusco talking to his pitcher. And let's see if this isn't just a challenge me moment and trying to squeeze 1 or 2 more outs out of his starter. Fusco, too, also runs a very complex defensive scheme, too, for St. Dominic, which They have different ways to combat bunt plays, which could be on, which they're fully equipped for, or even if Kellenberg is to send their runner in motion. So he's going to keep Honorado in as Napolitano back to the dish. 0 for 2 on the day. And St. Dominic expecting a bunt as Sincere creeps in at third. And of course a pickoff throw over to first to see if Napolitano shows his hand. 2-0 Kellenberg looking for more. Swinging away, chopped on the ground, third base side and through for a base hit. So Napolitano swinging away and picks up the 4th hit of the night for Kellenberg as the Firebirds have runners on first and second with nobody out for Mike D'Angelo. D'Angelo reached on an error his first time up and placed a single to left his last time up, 1 for 2 officially. Also stole a base. Bayhawks expecting the bunt again. And here it comes. And a bunt and a miss. Count 0-1. But one of the benefits, at least, of missing the bunt is you get to see the defense that St. Dominic tried to roll out there, as their shortstop Burns went to cover third base and leaving second base unoccupied. So they'll give Napolitano second base as D'Angelo steps out once again. No balls, 1 strike, no out. 2 runners on base for the Firebirds. Here's the pitch and a fastball upstairs. Count 1-1. Of course, Garrett with a good arm behind the plate. Should this ball get hit not that far in front of the plate, Garrett could come up throwing. And it'd be tough to double up D'Angelo with his speed, but either way, could be something. And St. Dominic could pull off. Diozo creeping in. Here's the pickoff play towards second. And just ahead of the tag. Ernst gets back in. See Cruz sprinting over, but he was so far in the hole that eventually Ernst picked it up and got back ahead of the tag. Comes a 1-1. And that misses low, 2-1. Big moment in this game. Here's a 2-1. Bunted, third base side. Honorado off the mound to field it. Fires to first, off the glove of Cruz, and trickling into right field, and a run will score. Ernst crosses the plate as Kellenberg takes advantage of the fielding miscue by Honorado, and it's 3-0 Firebirds. Napolitano in all of that ended up at third, as Kellenberg now with runners on first and third and nobody out. As this brings up Will Cowan. Walked his last time up. Grounded into a fielder's choice as well. Cowan showing bunt, giving himself up early. First base runner goes, and D'Angelo takes second base without a throw. And now the infield will have to come in for St. Dominic. And time called at the plate again. Started with a walk and then a single. And he won, and now the 1-0 right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. As Fusco comes out, and it looks like we'll have a pitching change. As Fusco will change his pitcher and pull Honorado in the middle of a 1-1 count. And we'll just wait to see who comes out of the pen. Luke Lang was warming up beforehand. And that'll do it for Honorado. New pitcher coming up for St. Dominic to try and keep this a 3-0 game. You're watching the NSCHSAA playoffs on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Back here at Farmingdale State, it's a 3-0 lead for Kellenberg. And help bring your game to life with Varsity Media Sportscast, coming with announcers, instant replay, multiple camera angles, and graphics. Great for rivalry games, senior day, and general promotion of your team. Contact us today at the number below or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Varsity Media. That number, once again, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net. Jeff Turchin sitting by his rotary phone awaiting your call. And we've got college recruiting videos as well. And Jeff is also there to answer your call. And what we offer, custom editing effects to help you stand out. Come up with the choice of music and a link for college coaches. It helps you save money on college tuition because it helps you earn that scholarship and a spot on the team. Stand out from the competition and get 10% off on this ad when you contact us at 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. New pitcher for St. Dominic is the right fielder, Matt Cruz, as Jack Puvogel goes to his spot in right field. Cruz, the stud and future Penn State Nittany Lion, coming on to try and keep Kellenberg at just a 3-run lead, especially with the way that Koshi has been going. First elongated inning for both of these teams, as it looked like those first 5 innings were really humming along, and then it's like we hit a wall. And so now the strategy comes in as Kellenberg tries to bust it open, as it's Will Cowan at the plate for the Firebirds. Infield comes in for the Bayhawks. And time called at the plate. And now Garrett will go out and make sure that he's on the same page with Cruz. Well, we know Cruz the hitter and the fielder as well, but someone who sits from 90 to 91 in the outfield and from the mound is in that range as well. The flamethrower trying to put out the fire of the Firebirds. As Cowan trying to spark this rally for Kellenberg. Here's a 1-1. And that pitch misses low, 2-1. Danny Honorado pulled in the middle of a count. And so now it's up to Cruz, and time called at the plate. Cruz with the low set. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Or check that, foul tipped off the wrist of Garrett. Count 2-2. So Honorado, 5+ innings. He's given up 3 runs on 4 hits, walked 4 and struck out 6. He is responsible for the 2 runners on base as Cruz trying to pitch St. Dominic out of it and keep them off elimination. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners on second and third. Top half of the 6th inning. Kellenberg knocking on the door of opening this up. Fouled off the front foot of Cowan. Will do it again. Cowan, that one stings. Just taking a couple of more moments to walk it off. Temperatures have dipped for the 7 o'clock start. Beautiful weather for the 4 o'clock game. But either way, it just hurts a little more as Cowan, the left fielder, digs back into the box. And time called again as Cowan's still shaken up. You have to wonder how much this messes with the rhythm of Cruz as well. Looking for a strikeout or a pop out. 2-2 coming. In the dirt, skips by Garrett, and another run will score. Napolitano crosses the plate on the wild pitch. 4-0 Firebirds. As Cruz spiked it. And Kellenberg continues to extend their lead. They've pushed 2 runs across and are still looking for more. D'Angelo went to third base as well. He represents the 5th run, standing 90 feet away. Here's the payoff pitch. A good rip and a fastball, fouled right back to the netting, and we'll do it again. Nobody out in the inning. Three-two pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. So Cowan reaches base. Runners on the corners, and here's Owen McWalters. Single to center field, chasing home the 2nd Kellenberg run of the game. And we'll see if Cowan goes in motion. Middle infield playing back, expecting the run. Not going, and the first pitch fastball low, 1-0. Pitch. Little topper, first base side. A run will score. Diozzo takes it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. D'Angelo touches up and makes it 5-0 Kellenberg as Cowan moves over to second, and this brings up the number 9 hitter, Brian Cadu. And Cowan will come out and we'll get a pinch runner, and you could see that coming as Cowan really shaken up after fouling the ball off. Could be his foot or his ankle. Pinch runner now is Hunter Harrison at second base. Harrison, the junior outfielder, representing the 6th Kellenberg run. Here's Cadu, grounded into a fielder's choice and a walk in 2 at-bats. Infield expecting him to pull. First pitch, fell back to the screen, 0-1. From the low set, Cadu check of the runner not once but twice. In the 0-1, belt high, strike called, 0-2. Two, way upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harrison with a good lead off of second. 1-2. Lofted foul off to the right side. We'll do it again. From the belt, check of the runner, and pitch in the dirt, stopped by Garrett. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kellenberg getting Andrew Koshy the run support that he needs, and still not done yet. 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove of Garrett for the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Matt Cruz. And that brings up Kenny Noe. As Noe takes low for ball 1. Noe pop out a strikeout and a walk, and 3 times at the plate. 0 for 2 officially. The runner at second is Hunter Harrison. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball hits the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Good backdoor curveball by Cruz. Noe, the 7th batter of the inning for Kellenberg. Cut on and missed, 1-2. Tommy Pasqua would be next. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Already 3 runs home for Kellenberg, a 5-0 lead for the Firebirds. Cruz looks to get out of it and keep it at that. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says the field umpire. And there's the second strikeout. But Kellenberg picks up 3 runs and leads it 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Kellenberg leads it 5-0 over St. Dominic's on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Kellenberg with a 5-0 lead over St. Dominic. Here in the NSCHSAA playoffs, the winner of this game would still have to win 2 more games to get to the championship. And of course, join our team. Let Varsity Media help promote your business at affordable rates. Customizable packages to fit into any budget will help grow your brand through sportscast or social media. With a large social media following, should be hitting 17,000 followers alone on Instagram and 50,000 across all platforms. Of course, I'd like to thank our lead sponsor today, Catholic Health, who was listed above, as well as CSB and CSA. Contact Ben today at 516-403-2050 or email him, ben@varsitymedia.net. Tell him John Perez sent you. Mikey Burns leads things off against Andrew Koshy, who has struck out 10 batters through the first 5 innings of work for the Firebirds, and of course with a 105 pitch count. You'd have to imagine for Koshy, he could be near there with those 10 strikeouts. And pumps in a first pitch strike, 0-1. Koshy, kind of like the Usain Bolt, has just been a fantastic sprinter type pitcher. And he's just reared back and fired in every other pitch. And St. Dominic has done everything they can against him. And he just continues to pour in strikes, and ahead in the count, 1-2. Comes the 1-2. Pumped foul down the right field line. Wake Forest, the #1 team in the nation, adding another pitcher to their arsenal. 1-2, breaking ball, hammered foul off to the right side, and we'll do it again. Koshy, 1-2, little tapper, left side of the mound, barehanded, fires to first as that pulls Coates off the bag. It'll be an infield single. Good speed by Mike Burns as he picks up his 2nd hit of the day against Koshy. And St. Dominic with a leadoff man on.
Now batting for the Bayhawks, the pitcher, number 25, Matthew Cruz.
As this brings up Matt Cruz, now the opposite number for Koshy. And the first pitch off the glove of Ernst. And this will allow Burns to move up. So the pass ball on Ernst moves Burns up to 2nd. And now a runner in scoring position for St. Dom's. 1-0, cut on and missed on an inside fastball. The count 1-1. Infield, outfield straight up. The 1-1 slash foul down the right field line. Count 1-2 to the Penn State Nittany Lion. It's 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of strikeouts, both of them swinging. Koshy gets ready to go. 1-2. Little looper, shallow right center field, a dive and a catch. Mike D'Angelo. And check that, they'll say it bounced. We'll take another look at that if we can get it, but either way, that looked like a catch. The field umpire says that it dropped, and I'm not sure if D'Angelo trapped it. And that's what the field umpire is saying right now, that it bounced in front.
Now batting for the Bayhawks, the first baseman, number 5, Vincent Diozo.
So D'Angelo trapped it, and now runners on 1st and 3rd. And Kellenberg going from what could have been a double play to having nobody out and runners on 1st and 3rd, and this is exactly what the Bayhawks needed. Let's try and jolt their offense. As now Koshy, who's been cool, calm, and collected, we go back to the 4th inning when St. Dominic's had the bases loaded and 1 out. He struck out Cole Cruz and then got Jason Romance to ground out to end the threat. Does Koshi have 3 more outs in him to get past the latest threat for St. Dominic? Vinny Diozzo steps up to the plate, hit by a pitch in that 4th inning. Diozzo and Frederick were both plunked back to back. Diozzo, an all-league player a year ago. And like we mentioned, those all-league honors coming out after the year, but when you hit north of 350 like Diozzo has, you'd have to imagine he'd be back on that all-league list. Committed to Palm Beach State. Fouls it back, and Koshi ahead, 0-2. Burns the runner at third, Cruz off of first. Andrew Koshi already with 10 strikeouts, looking for another one. 0-2 pitch, got him. Dialed up the furnace and blew a fastball by him. Strikeout number 11 for Koshi. There's one away in the 6th. It's Andrew Koshi's world, and we're living in it. Here's Victor Frederick, the St. John's commit. Headed to Queens when he graduates. Fastball darts on the inside corner, 0-1. Frederick, we mentioned, was hit by a pitch, also grounded out to Koshi his last time up. 0-1, right down the middle for a strike, 0-2. From the belt, Ernst sets up outside, runner goes, and a slash foul down the right field line as the hit and run was on, and a great drop by Matt Cruz. Here's the 0-2, runner goes again, and that splash foul off to the right side. See if Koshi throws over to first or even pitches out. Certainly do so ahead in the count, 0-2. But with Kellenberg, they've got somebody warming up in the bullpen. We don't have his pitch count, but we'd have to imagine Koshi is nearing that 105 pitch count mark. You're allowed to finish the batter if you're at the limit, so you don't want to give pitches away either. Here's the 0-2. Inside, it hit him again, and the bases are loaded. Second time that Frederick was plunked, and this will bring up Cole Cruz. Cruz, an infield single and a strikeout in 2 at-bats as Ernst goes out there and has a heart-to-heart with his ace. Second time today that Koshi is dealt with the bases loaded and 1 out. Dom's looking to break through the scoring as Cruz takes a first pitch strike. A 1, inside it hit him, and a run comes in to score. When Koshi's been on, he's been on, and when he hasn't, he's been bruising.
Now batting left fielder, number 13, Daniel Lambertson.
That's now 4 hitters that Koshi has hit. As the first pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. to Dan Lambertson, who was lifted for Jason Romance his last time up. Hits it on the ground at first base. Coates takes it to first base himself. A run scores. And that makes it 5-2. As Matt Cruz crosses the plate. Frederick goes to third. Cole Cruz up to second. And this brings up the catcher in Tom Garrett. And this will do it for Andrew Koshy. As Koshy, let's keep an eye on him as well. He's really holding that back calf, right calf. And so not sure if he's coming out of the game, but this doesn't qualify as a mound visit. The trainer will come out as well. Not sure if he pulled something, maybe going to cover first base on the ground ball to the right side. But either way, Koshy want to keep him healthy. Of course, while we have this moment, bring your game to life with Varsity Media Sportscast, coming with announcers, instant replay, multiple camera angles, graphics. We'll broadcast any sport. Great for rivalry games, senior day, general promotion of your team. Contact to book a sportscast today, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net. As well as get your college recruiting videos in as well, and we can help you with that. Offering custom editing effects to help you stand out, your choice of music, and link for college coaches. Contact us today and you get 10% off this ad. So that'll do it for Andrew Koshy, as he'll be lifted, and as dominant as he was, you hope that he stays healthy and everything's okay. He was brilliant and gets a standing ovation from his crowd. 11 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, trying to stave Kellenberg off of elimination. As we'll get a new pitcher when we come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
New pitcher for Kellenberg is Greg Malabar. Malabar has been one of the guys that's been reliable out of the pen for Kellenberg this year, the senior. Coming on in a hot spot, runners on second and third, and 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th inning in the elimination game between Kellenberg and St. Dom's. Here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, as Malabar on the season, 1 win, 1 loss, a 1.62 ERA in 8 2/3 innings of work, and he'll come on in a hot spot, dealing to Tom Garrett, the number 8 hitter, with runners on second and third. As you'd have to imagine that Malabar gets as many warm-ups as he wants, because he's coming in for the injured Koshy. And there is Tom Garrett, the catcher, 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of strikeouts against Koshy, who started this game off, went 5 2/3. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 11. He hit 4 batters. As Malabar completes his warm-ups, and Tom Garrett steps up to the plate. He represents the tying run. Infield playing back. 2 outs, last half of the 6th. And the first pitch, fastball, darts right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. St. Dominic, after being no hit yesterday, able to scratch 2 runs across as that pitch sweeps inside. Count 1-1. Comes a 1-1. Just outside. 2 balls and a strike to Tom Garrett. This inning started with back-to-back hits. There's a 2-1 on the outside corner, and a strike is called. And a big pitch upcoming. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-2 Kellenberg leads. And Garrett calls time at the plate. Kellenberg thrown onto the tightrope, looking to get out of it. Curveball in the dirt as Ernst keeps it in front of him. And the count is full. Good job by Ernst to keep it in front of him and not allow any advancement. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. Little tapper. It's Pasqua over to first, and Malabar gets out of it. St. Dom's pushes 2 across and no more as Greg Malarba gets the Firebirds out of it. They're 3 outs away from moving on. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning. 5-2 Kellenberg on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Top of the 7th inning, 5-2 lead for Kellenberg. As Matt Cruz back out on the mound. The deficit now down to 3, and that's where he has to keep it to give his team the fighter's chance against the Kellenberg bullpen. As he'll deal to the heart of the order for the Firebirds. It's Tommy Pasqua, Andrew Koshi's spot, and Koshi out on deck, swinging the bat. As Koshi, good to see that he's at least out swinging, and not sure if it'll be a decoy or what. He's out of the game at his most lethal position, the pitcher, but either way, the number 3 hitter, you're losing one of your best players overall. Now the designated hitter. And then Jimmy Ernst right behind him in the order. Talking to Paul Napolitano, who's had himself a day. Single that came around to score his last time up. As Koshi, been a lot of fun to watch him pitch today. Not sure it feels good for St. Dom's, of course, with the 4-hit batsman and 11 strikeouts. So here's Pasqua up to the plate, 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Infield, outfield straight up at a 5-2 lead for Kellenberg. First pitch curveball in the dirt, 1-0. Pasco's done a good job in the field, as well as trying to spark a rally for Kellenberg. And he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Pasco hitting .286 coming into this game. 3 extra base hits and 11 RBIs. As the Penn State Nittany Lion tries to even the count. He's behind 2-1. Pitch. And that misses low, 3-1. Well, you know, Kellenberg would love to get a run back. Socked in the air out to center field. Yanoa, can of corn, and 1 away to begin the 7th. As this brings up Andrew Koshi, Fusco comes out. And so now the 2 umpires will come together, and I think this is about Koshi coming out of the game and if he can re-enter or not, and what the official scoring would be. Now, Koshi was lifted for the injury. And they say he's allowed to re-enter.
Now batting for the Firebirds, number 31, Andrew Koshi.
Which was interesting because Malherbe had a bat and was on deck. It looked as if he was going to hit. But either way, here's Koshi. 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. He also grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. As they shift on the infield. And the first pitch curveball bends in for a strike, 0-1. Cruz from the stretch. Back-to-back curveballs, but this one misses somewhere. Cruz finding out that it missed up. Comes a 1-1. Another spinner inside, 2-1. One pitch, fastball low. And 3-1 to Andrew Koshi. Foul back and count runs full. We spoke to Chris Hardart earlier in the day about the new bracket as well. And Kellenberg losing their first game to Holy Trinity, that put them on the elimination side of the bracket. This is socked in the air down the left field line, and that's an extra base hit. Andrew Koshi gets it done on the mound and cruises into second with a double. And Koshi having himself a day and will be lifted for the courtesy runner as well. What can Andrew Koshi do? At least you thought he was going to be lifted for the courtesy runner, but he's just giving his elbow pad.
Catcher number 3, Jimmy Ertz.
So this will bring up Jimmy Ernst. Ernst, a solo home run back in the 4th inning, came around to score in the 6th inning, part of the 3-run 6th inning for the Firebirds. They lead at 5-2 and looking for more. Pitch up and in for ball 1. Comes a 1-0. Curveball. Fouled right into the bleachers right here, and you can hear the clank. And now the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As Ernst looks to keep this moving. 1-1. Up and in. 2 balls and a strike to Jimmy Ernst. Two 2-1 pitch. That's laced into left field, and that's a base hit. Lambertson scoops it up and gets it into the diamond as he takes the throw all the way home. No advancement by Ernst, though, as Koshi pulls up at third. Back-to-back hits for the Firebirds, and that brings up Paul Napolitano.
Shortstop number 2, Paul Napolitano.
As Kellenberg looks to take on Holy Trinity in the next round. Runners on the corners for the Firebirds. First pitch low. Nice stop by Garrett for ball 1. Napolitano 1 for 3 on the day, single to left, and came around to score on the wild pitch. A ground out and a fly out as well. And ahead of the count 1-0. And time called at the plate. Comes a 1-0. In the dirt again. Garrett locates it. And the count 2-0. Saw Luke Lang warming up in the bullpen for St. Dom's before, but it's empty now. Joe Fusco relying on his stud to get him out of the 7th inning in a 5-2 game. 2-0 pitch. And a fastball at the belt for a strike, 2-1. In the bottom of the inning for St. Dominic's, it'll be 9-1-2. Go up for the Bayhawks. 2-1, runner goes, and that slammed foul down the right field line, and we'll do it again. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ernst, the catcher, with good speed off of first. Cruz looking to roll a pair. Two 2-1 coming. Fastball chopped left side of the mound. Cruz bobbles and has no play. Cruz took his eye off the ball and the bases are loaded. Second error committed by the Bayhawks. And that brings up Mike D'Angelo, who has reached base every time up. Came around to score twice, single to left in the 4th. And the first Pitch fastball dotted for a strike, 0-1. Koshy off of third, Ernst off of second, and Napolitano off of first. Middle infield and double play depth. The corners playing at medium depth as well. Skied in the air out to right field. Let's see if this gets the run in. Puvogel under it, makes the catch, and then fires a strike home. Good job by Jack Puvogel. One of those arms out of the pen, two-way player for St. Dom's. And that keeps Kellenberg off the board. So that brings up Will Cowan with the bases loaded for Kellenberg. Biggest out of the ball game thus far. Pitch. Popped up, first base side in foul territory. Vinny Diozzo under it, makes the catch. Matt Cruz leaves them loaded as St. Dominic looks to rally. When we come back, looking to keep their season alive. You're watching the NSCHSAA Baseball Playoffs on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Kellenberg looks to move on in the NSCHSAA playoffs, as they'll go to their bullpen once more and bring on Brian Cadu to close things out. Started the game in right field and now looks to finish it for the Firebirds. So Cadu coming on, and he'll have to deal to the bottom of the order. 9-1-2 due up for St. Dominic. Pushed across 2 runs last inning. And now it's Cadu, and gotta love the eye black as well. Just looks like a ball player. Cadu on the year, no wins, 1 loss, 1 save. A 1.45 ERA in 9 2/3 innings of work as he looks to close it out for Kellenberg. Owen McWalters goes out to right field. As Lucien Sincere will start it off for the Bayhawks. And that's high for ball 1. Sincere 0 for 2 today against Andrew Koshy. A couple of strikeouts, both of them looking. And Sincere takes a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Cadu wasting no time. And now ahead in the count, 1-2. Andrew Koshy started this game off. He went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. He hit 4 batters. Greg Mallerbaugh came on in relief and got Tom Garrett to ground out to keep it at a 5-2 game. And a swing and a miss. He got him. Fooled him with a curveball. And Sincere is retired for the first out.
Now batting for the Bayhawks, the center fielder number 21, Jordan Yanoa.
So back to the top of the order, it's Jordan Yanoa. Couple of strikeouts and a walk in 3 plate appearances. And a fastball hits the outside corner for a strike, 0-1, and Cadu might need to have a tighter cap. It's been the second straight pitch that the hat has fallen off. Now 3 straight. But he continues to pour in strikes. Let's see if it stays on for another shot. If we can keep it tight here before the pitch. Ahead in the count, 0-2. Cap falls off, and that misses just outside. And the count, 1-2. It's not windy or anything. All right, now back to the game. Here's the 1-2. Hit right back up the box and through for a base hit. And Jordan Yanoa, wouldn't you know, keeps the Bayhawks alive. And that'll bring up Mike Burns.
Now batting for the Bayhawks, the shortstop number 12, Mike Burns.
Burns a couple of infield singles in his 2 at-bats. Grounded out to first base in the first inning. One of the 2 runs scored today for the Bayhawks. As they look to keep their season alive, the tying run, Matt Cruz on deck. And the pitch. Little tapper, left side of the mound, backhanded by Cadu. Pumps and throws it away. And it goes up the right field line. Yanoa being waved home. He'll score. The throw goes all the way to third, and Mikey Burns in there with an RBI. And now St. Dominic gets the tying run to the plate in Matt Cruz. Well, Cadu hesitated a little bit, double tapped the glove, and then just overshot his target at first base in Koshy. And here's Matt Cruz, and Pat Miles will come out. All right, settle his team down. You would trade the run for the out if you could. And that might be what the strategy is now. You've got Cruz, who's got a ton of power, the Penn State commit. If there's a way that you can get him out, then you certainly trade that run, and now you just have to focus on the next batter in Vinny D'Ozo. Matt Cruz, the future Nittany Lion, current Bayhawk, trying to extend this game and keep the season alive for St. Dominic. Cadu's first pitch hits the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. As the hat continues to flop off of Cadu. He just wants to throw strikes. From the high set, here's the 0-1. Curveball slammed foul back to the screen. And back-to-back strikes induced by Cadu. Cadu looking for his first save of the postseason. 0-2 coming. Hit on the ground at third. This will get a run home. Noe over to first. And there's 2 away. So Burns comes in to score. That makes it 5-4. And now here's Vinny D'Ozo, the last chance for St. Dom's. Diozo, the senior, and Palm Beach State commit. And what could be his final at-bat of his high school career. Trying to keep this game alive and the season alive for the Bayhawks. Brian Cadu has other ideas. Then the first pitch, fastball on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Diozo struck out swinging his last time up, hit by a pitch, then grounded out. 0 for 2 officially. 0-1 pitch, curveball loops high. Count 1-1. St. Dom's crowd on their feet, trying to spark a rally for their team. Kellenberg 1 out away from advancing, and Cadu steps off the rubber. Here comes the 1-1 out of the windup. Line down the left field line, foul. Diozo had extra bases on the mind. And now, St. Dominic down to its last strike. As the Bayhawk faithful want to go home happy, or at least keep this game going. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him, tag applied, and the Firebirds advance.
Firebirds 5 and the St. Dominic's Bayhawks 4.
Brian Cadu bends but does not break, picks up the save, and the Firebirds move on with a 5-4 victory here at Farmingdale State. It started with Koshi, was bridged with Malaba, and now Cadu polishes it off as Kellenberg pushes 2 runs across in the 4th inning and 3 runs in the 6th to win the game. Koshi, the victor today, as he strikes out 11, and Kellenberg moving on. So that'll do it from Farmingdale State for our entire crew of Larry Karitny, Ben Turchin, and Becca Kazix, who has been the Rookie of the Year so far for our directors, doing a fantastic job behind the 1s and 2. This is John Perez signing off. This has been a presentation of the NSCHSAA on the Varsity Media Sports Network.